I did it!
The only man in America with a Dr. Ouchie tramp stamp. It's the Church of Spencetology podcast. Here's your host, Spence.
That's right. You could be on the ground floor, you know. If you're listening to this right now, the Church of Spencetology podcast, episode number 131, if you're keeping score at home, you are in on the ground floor. That is if the ground floor has 7 listens. You could be lucky number 8. No one has ever said, by the way, hey, oh cool, you're lucky number 8. My name is Spence. I used to be on the radio in Las Vegas on 98.5 KLUC, but now I just sit my fat ass on my couch and collect fat ass checks from the state of Nevada. $469 a week. What? So a lot of people have complained about the process and have had endless trouble with the state of Nevada's unemployment insurance website. I don't want to brag, but I have not had or experienced these problems. Fill out the thing every week, put down the stuff that I'm trying to get jobs. In my field, there aren't any, but I keep trying because that's what you do. So $469 a week, it's pretty good. And so what they do, because I've never filed for unemployment before, they send you a Bank of America debit card. You basically get an account at Bank of America that the state puts the money in. And on the state website, it says that I've been paid $469 a week for the last 3 weeks. So that's kind of adding up, kids. Reportedly, I'm supposed to get the federal unemployment of $600 additional a week. Now, I pointed this out on social media, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. But I know a lot of people that work in radio or have worked in radio that are making more on unemployment now than they ever did cracking a mic. I know someone told me the other day, anecdotally, that they had a friend that they stopped working at Starbucks because they were getting paid more money. Now, that doesn't make a lot of sense. But we're trying to keep the economy going, so you're supposed to take that money and spend it, buy stuff. Except except for Postmates, there's nothing to spend on, right? I want to go spend some money on the local economy and buy some tennis rackets. Sorry, not only are none of these sporting goods stores open, none of the tennis courts are either. So there you go. On episode 131 of the Church of Spencetology podcast, we, for the first time, are going to do this. It's time for the Church of Spencetology Mayor Carolyn Goodman postgame show. Did you see that disaster? If Las Vegas ceases to exist, we can point to Wednesday, April 22nd, and the interview Mayor Carol Goodman had with Anderson Cooper. We are going to break that bad boy down coming up in just a second. And remember, when we're trying to be emphatic about something, when we're trying to make sure you understand how important it is, what do, kids? We curse. A song of the week filled with expletives on the way as well. But first, Rumspringa!
Sheriff's Dispatch, Javins.
There's a bunch of Amish people over on Flemingsburg Road.
And when we got there was a barn full of people. Some of them ran. There was one that was too intoxicated to run, had to be transported by ambulance.
Those folks are all placing themselves at risk. I'm glad that the sheriff's office was there to do something about it, to intervene and to put them on their way. These are your brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers, and so we all need to do what we need to do to protect them as well as ourselves.
First day of Rumspringa?
Rumspringa! The movie was back in 2008, Sex Drive. By the way, what kind of dick calls the cops on the Amish kids? Damn! They got the funny-looking beard. They're not supposed to have sex. They got no technology. They got no Netflix. They got no Xbox. They got nothing. And you're calling the cops. And by the way, the Amish kids know it wasn't the Amish parents calling the cops because they don't got phones. Rumspringa! It's Rumspringa! Rumspringa! A quarantine-inspired song of the week on the way in minutes, and the first time ever, a Church of Spencetology Mayor Carol Goodman post-game show. We'll hit all of that on the Church of Spencetology podcast, which is brought to you by Georgia's Grand Reopening. America, beginning Friday, it's the re-grand opening of Georgia. We're bringing back working out, bowling, and massages. You gotta be strong to fight the coronavirus, so we're opening the gyms because everyone always wipes down the equipment after they use it. Bowling? Right after riding lawnmower races, it's practically Georgia's national pastime. And is there anything more sanitary than a bowling alley? I don't think so. And with massages, we're going to rub out the corona. To be honest, we're still working on the social distancing part of that. Will Georgia's grand reopening result in a happy ending? It will for some, I'm here to tell you. It's Georgia's grand reopening this Friday. Georgia, at least we're not Florida.
It's the Church of Spencetology podcast. Hydrochloroquine, hydroxychloroquine A, hydroxychloroquine. If you can't pronounce it, it's gotta be good. Here's Spence.
Hey, the Georgia's grand reopening bit just a moment ago. Check that out. There's a video for it. You can see it at spencetology.com, YouTube /Spencetology as well. All the videos and such are up on that. This is the 131st episode of the Church of Spencetology podcast. We have a song of the week that is quarantine inspired coming up in just a few minutes, but we've never done this before. It's time for the Church of Spencetology Mayor Carolyn Goodman post-game show. What a disaster. Our honorable mayor of the city of Las Vegas, Carolyn Goodman, went on to talk about stay-at-home orders and quarantining and opening businesses with CNN's Anderson Cooper, and it was an unmitigated disaster. And several factors, too. And it wasn't a disaster for me because of what she believes. I don't agree with it. I think it's a bad idea to just open the casinos. I want people to go back to work as well. I'd like to have a job. And I know that's what Mayor Goodman wants. But the way she wants to go about it just doesn't seem smart. And because she's not in charge of the Strip, she's in charge of the city. You know, unincorporated Clark County is the Strip. She can say whatever she wants, and it really has no bearing on the big hotel casinos. Now, it does in downtown Las Vegas, obviously. Did you know, by the way, either she or her husband have been mayor since 1999? And health willing and God willing, she'll be able to fulfill her term. 12 years is as long as they can be mayor. So in 2023, that's when the next election is. Carolyn cannot run. But she and Oscar have been mayor will have been mayor for 24 years. And I think this is also part of the problem. Oscar was very successful at just being Las Vegas's cheerleader. He'd walk around with his martini, a couple of showgirls, and he would just rah-rah Las Vegas. And Carolyn learned from that, I would assume. And she's still trying to rah-rah Las Vegas. And this is the wrong time for the cheerleader speech. This is reality. You got a whole bunch of people unemployed. And she does want people to go back to work. But you combine that with the fact that Anderson was not playing. And by the way, she's 81 years old. So it's like Anderson's, berating his grandma. And then you add the fact that it's a Wi-Fi thing. Any type of Facebook Lives or anything else you see with radio or anything, there's always some latency. There's some drag. It makes flawless execution kind of difficult because people talk over one another. And that's kind of how the interview went. And it was nuts. And immediately, Jimmy Kimmel, Clark High graduate, comes out and says, "You're an embarrassment. You should resign before lunch." That's how bad it was. Memes like crazy. By the way, Carolyn Goodman, she now has replaced Carol Baskin as the most hated Carol. If you want to shorten it, the most hated Carol on the planet right now. And the interview was totally brutal and made no sense. There's a part of this coming up that you're going to hear. Anderson talking to the mayor of Las Vegas sounds like you're trying to talk to your mom and you can't get her off the phone. So you try to go, hey, Mom, okay, I gotta go. And then she starts up a new topic. That's what this is. It's nutty. So we're going to go through a lot of the interview, and then we'll do the post-game thing. Commentary, draw up some plays, dissect the intricacies of what's happening. Now, we start off with this whole bit of information from the mayor that she was offering us up as lab rats. Yes, you and me as lab rats.
But hasn't it been because of social distancing that the numbers have been what they are?
How do you know until we have a control group? We offered to be a control group.
You heard that, right? She offered us up as the control group. This ain't the Hunger Games, Mayor. You can't put me up for tribute. I'm not going to be part of the control group. I assume there was a big CDC meeting with every mayor from every major city, and they're all sitting there and like, well, okay, we need some guinea pigs. We need a sacrificial lamb. Who would like to be the control group? And Mayor Goodman just thrusts her arm up into the air. We'll do it. We'll infect our citizens and see how it works. Would it be like a jury summons? You go to the mailbox, you get like, shit. And then you call the number, and the whole time you're like, please, 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 please let me out of it. Yeah, I'm not part of that control group. Yes. Do you line up everybody and somebody coughs in your face and they put you up in a hotel room? You would hope it would be Bellagio, but it would actually be, circus. And then you sit there for 10 to 14 days. He didn't get it. He's cool. We're on our way. Open up the casinos, everybody. If past rulings come to play, the mayor has not been very kind to the homeless, so I have a guess as to who the control group would be. And by the way, then she went on to deny the whole control group thing, I think.
You're offering the citizens of Las Vegas to be a control group to see if your theory on social distancing works or doesn't work.
Wrong. Absolutely wrong. Don't put words in my mouth.
You just said we'll be a control group.
Excuse me. What I said was I offered to be a control group, and I was told by our statistician, you can't do that.
Okay, so she did offer us up as tribute. Are we clear on that part? The thing that distracted me about that segment is apparently the city of Las Vegas has a statistician. And all I can think of is high school basketball. And there's that one guy who is either the old PE teacher or somebody's grandpa, and he always sat by the table keeping track of the rebounds and the assists and the score. So we have some balding guy with glasses on the tip of his nose, a little overweight, always with a belt and a pair of slacks and the white New Balance leather tennis shoes, and he's writing down everything. Okay, we got no, Mayor, we cannot do a control group for coronavirus. So she's hell-bent on getting businesses open, and I don't think anybody disagrees with that. We'd like to get things open as quickly as possible. We'd like to get people flying in here, except from Florida or Georgia. We'd like to get them here, gambling, eating in the restaurants, going to the shows, all of it. To help, as she pointed out, our bus drivers and the people that clean rooms, everybody. We all want the same thing. It's a matter of timing. So they went back and forth on this, and they were essentially saying the same thing. She's like, no, I just want to get jobs back. Well, to do that, you have to open up the casinos. And it was pointed out repeatedly, and has been pointed out repeatedly, that the mayor is in charge of the city of Las Vegas. The Strip is in unincorporated Clark County. She has no say over MGM or Bellagio or the Venetian or none of that. She has say over somewhat the hotels in downtown Las Vegas, okay, and the casinos there. So they went on and on and on. So Anderson's point is, okay, if you're going to open it up, then you're going to put your money where your mouth is and hang out down in the casino with the workers you're putting back in, even though they're at risk for coronavirus, right?
If casinos reopen, are you going to be inside those casinos every single night putting your own life on the line?
I have lived in this town for 56 years.
Are you going to go to the casinos every night and put your life on the line all the workers you say you were there holding their hands?
So they don't need it. We weren't broken. We tragically have 150 people we lost. Tragic. We have 2.3 million people here.
I haven't heard you say, yes, that you would be sitting on those casino floors every night along with the people that you say you are holding their hands with.
What is the purpose of that? First of all, I have a family.
Now, everybody's gone crazy on that line. Whoa. I'm not going to sit in the casino with the sickies. I've got a family. It was a little inarticulate. She went on to say she has a family. She has to make dinner for. She has responsibilities at home, so she couldn't be there every single night, is what she was, I believe, trying to say. But then she said a lot of stuff that I don't know what it meant.
Fact, you're calling for businesses to reopen. Every scientist and person, who looks at this says what we really need to do that is more testing and more contact tracing.
That can't work. We're not getting the truth. And I know over the years, going back to the 1950s with the atomic bomb, don't worry about it when we're testing in Nevada. You'll all be fine. Take a shower.
Okay, so I'm confused on this. She's looking for the truth. So apparently they're not telling us the truth, but they did when they talked about the atomic bomb. Hey, it's happening. Go take a shower. No, they were telling us lies then, and it was more serious. So then coronavirus is more this is the equivalent of going downstairs to get something, and the minute you get downstairs, you go, what am I doing down here? Right? Then the mayor says the unforgivable.
First of all, I don't gamble.
What? Now, I understand there are a lot of people listening to this right now that don't gamble. Cool. I get it. I, on the other hand, succumb to video poker and caveman Keno when I'm feeling frisky. But you can't, as the leader, as the mayor of Las Vegas, say to the rest of the world that you don't gamble. Come on, it's the foundation of why we're here. You hear that? That is Bugsy Siegel spinning in his grave. Just lie, Mayor. Say you gamble. And then that's bad enough. Then she lets Anderson Cooper insult our town.
I used to gamble when we first came to town. I don't have the time. I work 7 days a week. I have so many things that I have to attend to. I can't sit
I wouldn't want
on
to
a
sit on those floors either.
floor.
I wouldn't want to sit on the floors either. I'm with you on that one.
Okay, don't laugh that off, Mayor. He's insulting us. He's calling us the stinky kid in class, okay? Our casinos are beautiful, the best in the world. What ruins them are the dirty, dirty people from Florida and Indiana, okay? And let's be clear, it's not like you're down at Slots of Fun, licking every button on the Buffalo Gold penny slots. But I know what he means. With coronavirus right now, possibly at a peak, without proper social distancing methods, and without testing, if you want to avoid catching the virus, maybe a Las Vegas casino is not an open Las Vegas casino right now would be the best place to be. And then the insults continue.
There's Chinese researchers have shown how this virus spreads. And I just want to put up for our viewers. This is a restaurant.
Anderson, you are tough.
No, I'm not
We're
talking
back
about
to China. This isn't China.
Yeah,
this is Las Vegas, Nevada.
Whoa. She was right. We are in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is not China. She's absolutely right. Continue, Anderson.
Wow. Okay, that's really ignorant. This is a restaurant, and the yellow circle, that's an ignorant statement.
Yikes. Wow. Okay, that's really ignorant. He just said that to the mayor. She's someone's grandmother, Anderson. She didn't mean it that way. I really did expect her to say, Chinese restaurants. Well, Las Vegas has some of the world's finest Chinese restaurants, and we need to open them now.
They believe it was the air conditioning which helped the virus spread to all those other people.
You remember the Legionnaire's disease in 1976 in Philadelphia.
Again, she's someone's grandmother. And whose grandmother doesn't do that? Back in 76, the Legionnaires.
Came all through the air conditioning. You don't remember because you're younger.
I do remember.
Typhoid Mary, who I think passed away, during the late 30s.
Yeah, Typhoid Mary. And like a grandma or old school teacher, she's going to continue on with the history lesson about Typhoid Mary.
Rode the buses, was a cook, and she was asymptomatic, and she spreaded a fear of getting typhoid, and she never showed a sign of it. And she lived most of her life quarantined. The reality was, I think 58 people passed away from typhoid.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor, for A&E Presents Typhoid Mary. George Washington Carver invented the peanut. He came up with 144 different uses for the peanut, but never peanut butter. Time magazine referred to him in 1941 as the Black Leonardo. Sadly, George Washington Carver died 1943. Not many people know this, but it was a peanut allergy.
And so we're aware of this. We learn from history. Right. We've had Ebola. We've had the West Nile. We've had polio. We've had these horrific,
none of those were as
painful.
Infectious in Las Vegas. I mean, you didn't have people with Ebola on a casino floor.
Let's be clear on the Ebola thing, too. That was 2014. In the United States, there was, because she's going to argue against it in a second. In 2014, there were 11 cases of Ebola in the United States, and only one person died as a result of Ebola in the United States, whereas here with coronavirus, we're approaching 50,000 deaths.
You know what? If you did...
we don't know that.
Well, yeah, you do, because if you had it...
A neighbor of mine died from West Nile because the swimming pool on the next property was filled with mosquitoes, and the people who had abandoned the house left the pool full.
I love how she just goes off on a tangent, much like Typhoid Mary, that she talks about. Suddenly it's about, I had this friend, she had a swimming pool next door with mosquitoes, she got the West Nile. It sounds like you're talking to your mom and you're trying to get off the phone. And every time you try to get off the phone, she starts up another topic. Seriously, it's like this. Mom, I know you don't miss the casinos, but I got to go. I love you.
First of all, I don't gamble.
Yeah, I know.
I used to gamble when we first came to town.
Yeah, okay, I love you, Mom. I got to go, okay?
The 1950s with the atomic bomb.
I think your granddaughter's crying. I got to go, Mom.
You'll all be fine. Take a shower.
Okay. Thanks, Mom. I love you.
And I know I went to school right around the corner from where you grew up on the East River.
Okay, I'll call you tomorrow.
A neighbor of mine died from West Nile because the swimming pool on the next property was filled with mosquitoes, and the people who had abandoned the house left the pool full.
And scene. It's just like that. Watch the interview. It's Anderson talking to his mom, R.I.P., and cannot get her off the phone. Just a couple more clips.
But you're encouraging, hundreds of thousands of people coming there in casinos, smoking, drinking, touching slot machines, breathing circulated air, and then returning home to states around America and countries around the world. Doesn't that sound like a virus petri dish?
Yes, it does, Anderson. That's what we specialize in, is virus petri dish, which, by the way, sounds like a college alt-rock band. Vegas is virus petri dish. We specialize in it. We charge extra for it. Be in any nightclub, be at Dre's at 4 a.m. with Diplo on the ones and twos. You know what that is? Virus petri dish. Finishing up the interview, what no politician should ever do, and that is just go, it's not my job.
Well, you can talk about testing, because I would. That's important too.
That's not my job, unfortunately. Sadly, it's not my job. I just assume everybody can be asymptomatic.
I guess Mayor Garcetti has a larger job portfolio than you do.
Yes.
Mayor Goodman.
Definitely he does. Thank you.
All right. I wish you the best. Thanks very much.
He tries to get her off the phone and she won't stop.
I don't have the time. I work 7 days a week.
Okay, Mayor.
I have so many things that I have to attend to.
We got to go to commercial break, Mayor. Thank you. So I think what we can say here is, if we wanted people to stop coming to Las Vegas, if we wanted the entire city to dry up and blow away, well, thank you, Mayor Goodman. You've started the process. And contrary to her advice, here is mine, a song of the week entitled Stay the at Home. Mama, where you going? To grab some wine with Barb. And Daddy, where you going? To play hoops down at the park. You both must be joking. It's not a hoax. Are you out of touch? Or is there some unknown reason you hate Gam so much? Stay the fuck at home. Don't make me treat you like your babies. Stay the fuck at home. Mom, I know Dad drives you batshit crazy. And Dad, shut the fuck up about your rights. They're only trying to save people's lives. Gam, Gam, where you going? It's not wise to congregate. I know you've been showing up every Sunday since '88. The pastor's not all-knowing, he's not a scientist by trade. I know you wanna meet Jesus, but Gam Gam, heaven can wait. So stay the fuck at home, Corona don't know religion. Stay the fuck at home, don't care if you're Muslim or Christian. So pastor, do your sermon on the internet. There's a reason Jesus hasn't come back yet. He's Jesus, smart guy. Even he knows to stay the fuck at home, quit hanging out with your homies. Stay the fuck at home, if you don't like it you can blow me. But we'll have to do it social distancing ways, which means you'll be 5 feet 9 inches away. So stay the fuck at home, only a few weeks, don't be sad. Stay the fuck at home, told this old dude and he got mad. Gave me a finger, said kiss his ass. I said okay, as long as I can wear these jeans and this here mask. So stay the fuck at home, that means you on the Capitol steps. Stay the fuck at home, you too, Ivanka, you hypocrite. Stay the fuck at home, like your life depends on it. Stay the fuck at home, I'd like to leave this fucking apartment. Stay the fuck at home.
The Church of Spencetology. He's flattening the curve by fattening his curves. Here's Spence.
That concludes episode 131 of the Church of Spencetology podcast. Thank you to Professor Blue and Castor Troy for the beats you're hearing right now. Really appreciate that. Also appreciate you for listening. Please tell a friend. Subscribe, like, follow. Do what you got to do. Videos, bits, songs. You'll find them all on all of my social media stuff. Alexa will give you the details.
Follow Spence on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Spencetology at SPENCETOLOGY. And check out Spencetology.com.
Also, you can email me if you feel the need, spencetology@hotmail.com. In the meantime, I'm going to party like a 14-year-old Amish kid.
First day of Rumspringa?